Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your retro future boy, Ricky Summer here, and today I've come back in time to deliver unto you wild speculation regarding Cyberpunk 2077. So I've been looking forward to this game since it was first announced all those years ago, right? So look, a Cyberpunk open world RPG made by CD Projekt Red. Holy shit. I mean, those descriptors alone, that's my perfect game right there. But let's dial back the excitement just a little bit for a second, because I want to talk about my thoughts and feelings after watching the trailer and after reading some of the articles from folks who saw the closed door 50-minute demo. So my first thought after watching the trailer was, holy shit, the music's incredible. And it immediately inspired me to get to work on my next album. But after that, I'm like, all right, Night City, this is the setting. Now, I feel like they're going for Night City as a character in and of itself. And I hope they lean into that. I hope I'm right about that and they really like go to town with Night City almost as like the main character of the game. So we're talking sky-high rate of violence, voted the worst place to live in America, and more people below the poverty line than anywhere else in the world, I think it was. He then went on to say that, you know, everyone still wants to live here, and there's like a promise of a dream of, you know, I interpret that as like, you know, the big score of living the high life. It might be a lie, it might be a whole load of shit, but here's a big dreamer, right? So what does this say to me? Crime, crime, crime. just savage crime across the board. And I immediately thought, oh, this is going to be Cyberpunk RPG GTA. And I was very okay with that, right? So, you know, you got this city as a character, and there's crime everywhere and all these opportunities. Listen, it's what I've always wanted GTA to be. Set in the future with the full character customization. That's my theory, at least. But we don't know. We don't know if that's really how it's going to play out. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that CD Projekt Red sat around their design table or whatever and said, let's make sci-fi GTA. I just think that that's how it's going to end up feeling, potentially. But let me know in the comments down below. Do you think that's the case? Did you get the same vibe that I did from the trailer? Or do you think maybe the gameplay is going to go in a completely different direction? Now, speaking of going in a completely different direction, after watching the trailer, I was convinced that it was going to be third person. Maybe because I was getting such strong GTA vibes, so I assumed it's going to be in third person like GTA. But apparently, it's going to be a first-person shooter RPG, right? Okay, that's a pretty big surprise. And I'll be honest, at first I was like, I kind of wish it was third person. Why? Well, look, if I'm going to have like full character customization and I'm going to be able to kit out my character to look however I want to see how badass they are at all times. I'm just into that, you know, I'm that kind of guy. I want to look at my character, see my work and go, yeah, man, that's me. That was my work. He's fucking badass. Yeah. But look, it's going to be first person. Is there going to be a vanity camera? We don't know. I've got to, there has to be, right? Surely there has to be at least a way to see what your character looks like. But it's going to be first person. So what does that say to me? That says, I think it's going to be very gun heavy. And so they just figured, well, listen, if you're going to be shooting so much, let's just make it first person already, right? And if that's the case, then yeah, all right, that's great then, because I'd much rather be shooting in first person than in third person. That's just my personal preference. Cool. Okay, so in terms of perspectives, you can go third person when you're driving vehicles. Now, notice they said vehicles, not just cars. Does this mean we're going to be able to ride or drive rather like hover cars and whatnot? Fly? Holy shit. Look, we saw hover cars in the trailer. I hope so. And also that car that we saw, presumably the main character drive or get into near the end. Oh god, shit, that was such a hot car, right? It was like the whole thing was just like so. It was a hell of a lot more retro, more 80s than I was expecting. The Converse, that back of the car looked so 80s. Can't quite put my finger on why, but keep in mind I never experienced the 80s. I was born in 1990, so I just missed it. But look, the whole tone of the trailer I was very into. The only thing I was a little disappointed about was there were a couple of night shots, but I'm just so stuck in this mindset that Cyberpunk is always night, and I kind of love that aesthetic. To see it during the day was like, oh, okay. But still, that's interesting. I mean, of course, unless they do something crazy like some sort of disaster that makes the sky purple. There's gotta be daytime sections in the game. There has to be, but look, there you go. So just a quick, let's circle back to the character. For those of you who haven't read the articles and maybe know nothing about the game, so you play V. And I get the impression that it's going to be like a Commander Shepard sort of situation. So you can select gender and class and appearance and all that stuff. I believe that's what they've said. But you are V. You are this set character who's a mercenary. I believe just like up and coming, trying to make your way in the world. You're starting out. So I mean, to me, this just ties into the whole. It's going to feel a little GTA-esque, and I'm kind of really excited about that. How tight is it going to stick to a main story? We just don't know. And I actually suspect it might be a little bit more story focused than maybe some people are expecting or some people think. What evidence do I have to support this claim? Honestly, I don't think I have any. That's just my feeling. I think it's going to be like, here's your main story, and there's a bunch of side activities you can do. And you can delay the main story to go and do other stuff, side quests and other shit, and you can just drive around and whatnot if you want. But I feel like the main focus might be that kind of backbone story that's driving you along. But again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. So, look, I'm not going to go on too much more about it. I'm not going to, like, turn this into multiple videos or anything like that, because we don't really know much. And I think the game is still a ways off. So, we'll just wait and see, guys. But I'm very excited to see how this turns out. Oh, yeah. Listen, but let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Is it going to be GTA-esque? What do you think the gameplay is going to be like? Oh baby, but for the moment, thank you guys very much for watching. Taste the game, be excellent to each other, and I'll see you next time. Ricky Summer, out.